Welcome to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to tell you how you can overcome social anxiety and the things that I did to help me get over my social anxiety, and hopefully when you implement them, it'll help you. And stay tuned because the last one is the best one. So the number one thing that really helped me get over social anxiety and that nervousness and that feeling like, oh man, everybody's watching me, everybody's judging me, is so I moved from one part of Florida to a different part of Florida. I moved from South Florida to Southwest Florida, and I used to be super socially nervous around people. I used to have like a lot of anxiety, and I used to always get nervous or think that everybody's thinking about me or saying things about me or just laughing at me. In reality, they weren't. It was just all in my head. But I used to always get nervous. And when I moved from that city to a different one, and I come by completely different new people, and I never ever saw those people ever again in my life, and and I realized like wow, like those people are irrelevant. They're irrelevant in my life. Like it's literally I used to always think about them, but it's literally pointless because I never saw them ever again after I moved. And I realized that like literally it's irrelevant, like it's literally pointless. That I used to always have this anxiety about being around these kids that I was in school with and being nervous around them. And it was literally pointless because after a certain period of time you're not gonna see them. So and also when I moved to the other side of Florida, I had to get a job. And I got a job. I worked at Publix, and at first I used to get nervous because I want everybody to like me. I want the boss to like me and make a good impression. I used to get nervous and super social anxiety. Just like, oh my God, people are saying things about me when in reality they're not. But just put in your head too much. And I quit that job. I never saw people ever again in my life. And I got another job, and the same thing happened. And I got another job, and the same thing happened. So, due to those two things that occurred in my life, I had the realization that it's temporary. Everything is temporary. And there's no point in having that, like, anxiety. Because towards those people or around those type of people, because at a certain period of time that job or school that you get social anxiety around those people or you feel nervous around, you're not gonna be there. So that really liberated me, and that made me have this like this sense of like, oh, it's pointless to have this feeling. It made that feeling go away because whenever that feeling tried to creep into my mind, I realized like, oh, this after a certain period of time, I'm not gonna see these people ever again in my life. It's just for the time being. It's temporary. And another thing that really helped me get over the social anxiety is you realize that like people 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 have their own thing going on. They don't think about you that much. Like people don't really care. They'll look at you for a second, and then they'll look at you for a second, or whatever thing you're doing, and then they'll think of something about it and then keep going back to their lives. You know, they'll think about you for a second and keep going back to their lives. Like they do not care about you that much. That's what you realize that like you look at something or someone, and then you think a thought or two, and then you just keep going about your day, and then you forget about it. Like think about it. Think about it. When you're out and you see something or see something or someone, you have like a thought about them, or and then you just keep going about your day. They don't feel that much space in your mind. But people have the idea that they're feeling this huge space in somebody else's mind, where in reality you're not. People see you, and then they just think have a thought about you or two, and then just keep going about their day. So have that liberate you. Like realize that people are too focused on themselves to be thinking about you. And the last one is that realize that you are like, you know how in a show there's seasons and there's a main character and there's extras in the background. You need to realize and embrace that you are the main character in your life and they're extras in your stories. They're irrelevant. They have nothing to do with you. And you should treat it as such. Why would you let an extra character in your story affect you, the main character? No, that wouldn't make sense. Don't let the extras affect you. It does not make sense because they're just extras in your story. You're the main character of your life, you know? Everybody else is just extras. Because it's like a season of a show, people come and go. That's the same thing with your life, whatever season you're in right now. People are gonna come and go. Some people might stay for a long period of time or like a couple seasons, but eventually they will leave. Have like that liberates you and just enjoy it, the moments, or whenever enjoy the moments that are pleasant, and whenever you're going through hard times, like remember that it's temporary and eventually you are not going to be in that same state. That season is gonna end and new characters are gonna come in. So have that liberate you. Realize that you are the main character and everybody else is just an extra. And and they're irrelevant. They're just an extra in your story. And you are the main character. So embrace that main character energy.